Fear is the invisible force that controls us. And it does more than we know it. It makes our hearts go faster, our palms sweat, and sometimes it even stops us from doing the things that we have to do. But what if I told you that fear itself is a lie? What if fear isn't the enemy? Do you want to know the key of unlocking unlimited power, unlimited success in your life? So we need to know how to get rid of the fear.
Unlimited power.
Stay with me and we're going to find out how to get rid of fear. How and what is the main composition of fear, and why do we feel so much fear many times in our lives? Any situation of your life, you can either fight your fears, you can flight from your fears, or you can just freeze and do nothing. One thing that many people do, it's flight from their fears. But the best thing you can do is to fight them. Because once you fight your fears is when you will get ahead. Fear is quite old. It started with the humans. It's a primal emotion wired into our brains. It's designed to keep us alive. When our ancestors heard the rustling of leaves, their bodies reacted instantly. As I told you before, you could either fight, flight, or freeze. It's the same response we have today as we had thousands of years ago. Whether we're facing a lion in the wild or an email from our boss, we feel the same fear. Fear is designed to make us survive, to help us survive. Now that we are safe most of the time, what is actually fear doing to us? It's holding us back rather than keeping us safe. That's what we think. Why do we feel fear? The answer lies deep within your brain, in a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's your personal alarm system, detecting threats and triggering fear responses before you even consciously recognize danger. But here's the twist. Most of the things we fear today, public speaking, rejection, failure, aren't really threats. They won't kill you. So why do we feel just as terrifying as a predator attack? Because fear doesn't distinguish between physical danger and the imagined danger. Your brain treats them the same. But now I'm coming with the best news you ever heard. Fear is an illusion, and you can control it. You can actually learn everything about fear and control it. Now we're gonna deep into the 3 fears you can have. The survival fear. This is a useful kind. The fear of heights, the fear of fire, of speeding car heading straight for you. It keeps you alive. But then we have the other fears, the made-up ones. The social fear, the fear of judgment, embarrassment, rejection. This is the fear that stops you from speaking your mind, chasing your dreams, or asking that one question that could change your whole life. And then we have the irrational fear, phobias, fears of things that pose no real danger, like the fear of clowns, or the fear of a peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Maybe insects, phobias of insects. Phobias when you get in a tiny room and you get anxiety because you think you're gonna die. Those fears are some things that are made up in your mind. You think you fear them, but you don't really do that. But there is another kind of fear. One so insidious it disguises itself as logic, responsibility, and even common sense. It's the fear of success. The fear of being truly powerful. And this one, it's the most dangerous of all. What does fear do to our hearts and minds? When fear takes over, your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart pounds. Your muscles tighten. Blood drains from your brain's logic center, making you irrational. Fear doesn't just make you feel weak. It literally makes you less intelligent. You freeze. You hesitate. And hesitation is the killer of dreams. But what if you could flip the switch? Let's say you're afraid of spiders. The one thing I would recommend you is to take a spider in your hand. Maybe not one of the killer ones. Take a normal spider and be with it. It's gonna be anxious, it's gonna be fearful. But once you get it, once you have it and you see that it's nothing, it's not harmful, you're gonna get rid of your fear. And with time, you end up not fearing them at all. Other things you can do for your fears is to reframe them as excitement. Philosophically, fear and excitement feel the same. What if instead of thinking, I'm terrified to do this, you said, I'm so excited to see what happens next? Many entrepreneurs, many people that are working 9 to 5, many people that have amazing talents, they don't try things because they are afraid. Just the fear is stopping them to get above everyone. If you want to get successful, if you want to be to achieve anything in life, if you want to achieve love, money, fame, whatever, you need to get rid of your fears. Some people in this world seem to have no fear, and we know many of them. Take Elon Musk as an example. He bet his entire fortune on Tesla and SpaceX, knowing failure meant losing everything, and that's anxiety and fear at the same time. But he did it anyways. Or you can take Alex Honnold, who climbed El Capitan without ropes. Those people are Superman. They just made fear ally instead of their master. Once you let fear get over you and control you, you are not going to do anything. Being in a comfort zone, it's kind of being in a safe place because you are afraid of other things. It's the same as when you have a 9 to 5 job and you want to try new things, but you are afraid. And you keep saying to yourself that you are fine with the things you are doing. Now the problem is, maybe you are, but at the same time, maybe you're not. You just don't want to see the fearful face of the reality. And the reality, many times, is fear. Now step into it and you realize there was never anything there. The life you want, the success you dream of, the person you are meant to be, it's still waiting for you on the other side of fear. So the question is, will you cross the line? And the choice is always yours. Fear controls those who let it, but those who dare to challenge it, fear becomes their power, their choice. One of the thoughts you can have every time you feel fear is that thing going to kill me? Let's say you are going to an interview for a job and you are anxious, you have fear. Now, the one thing you can think of is that interview going to kill me? If I don't get the job, is that going to kill me? If not, you're gonna be fearless. The same happens every time you're gonna start a new adventure in business, in whatever field you are in. Just think, if you fail, what's the worst thing that can happen? I can tell you that the worst thing is if you lose your life. And if you have your life, nothing is lost. So keep in mind one thing, fear is just stopping you, is a barrier, stopping you to achieve greatness in your life. You need to think of those things. You need to take a step back and think of your life, rethink your life. You want to achieve something? Get rid of the fears. Don't fear failure, because that's one of the things you have to go through in order to achieve something. And now I'm going to give you 10 steps to get rid of your fears. Step number 1 is to expose yourself to it. As we said before, just expose yourself. Just go and still yourself in front of your fears and say, here I am. The more you face your fear, the weaker it will get. The second step is to reframe it as excitement. Instead of saying that you're afraid, that you fear, just say, I'm excited. I'm going to see what is this about. So instead of saying that you are terrified to try something new or trying to jump, just say, I'm so exciting. This is so exciting. I'm going to see what it happens. And you do it. Step number 3 is to breathe through it. Just take deep breaths. They're going to help you survive. Take deep breaths, because if your mind and your body are calm, they're going to help you so much to get rid of your fears. Step number 4 is just to do it anyway. No matter how much afraid, how much fear you feel, just do it anyway. Just jump. Don't think, just do. Step number 5 is to visualize the positive outcome of whatever you're doing. Let's say you're starting a business, and instead of thinking of the worst things that can happen, think of the positive. Think of what the good things can be once you get to this point. So visualizing and practicing to visualize just the positive, it will help you get rid of your fears. Step number 6 is to take small steps. You must have bigger goals, bigger than anyone, but take small steps to get to it. Don't rush. Just take small steps, one at a time, and you're gonna get to your goals. Step number 7 is to use fear as fuel. Let fear motivate you instead of paralyze you. Motivation, it's again, seeing your fear as excitement. It will motivate you to get to your goal. Another thing, discipline, it's much better than motivation. And that's another thing that will take your fears away. Once you're disciplined to do things, you're not gonna fear anything else. You're just gonna do them because you have to do them. Step number 8, stay in the present. And that's again, like the same thing as visualization. Don't think of the future too much. Seeing glimpses of the future, what it can be. And again, this is the same as visualizing the positive end of your whatever thing you are doing. Now, keep your mind as positive as possible, because as soon as you think negatively, it will get the fear into you. And if you want to think of the future, don't think negatively. Step number 9, surround yourself with brave people. People that don't fear anything. And those people are gonna help you to get the courage to move on. Step number 10, one of the most important, is redefine failure as success. Most of the people trying to do new things fear failure. Now, when you think failure as a way to step ahead, as a way to learn, you're not gonna see it as something bad. Actually, you're gonna see it as something really good. So, no one wants to fail. But if you fail, and if you see it as one big step down, you're gonna get fear taking over your body and mind again. But if you see failure as a step ahead, now that you have failed once, you're gonna learn how to do that better the next time, or maybe just completely in a different way, or trying something completely different, but taking those failures as lessons to get ahead. Trust me, it's gonna help you so much. And fear is gonna get away. Now understand one thing, fear is just in your mind. And the best part is, you can control your mind. Number one thing you have to do in order to get success in your life is to get rid of your fears. Try to do all the things that you don't want to do because you fear something. Sometimes it's because you are afraid getting out of your comfort zone. Most of the people stay in the comfort zone because they are afraid of new things. They are afraid of getting away of the comfort zone. One of the most important parts in your life is getting away of your comfort zone through the fear and step ahead. I hope this video helps you and gets out all your fears, and you start doing whatever you love and whatever you are meant to do. See you in the next one.